at the end on their hands and knees. It's very degrading. Oh, we're starting with that.
Mike is all about strippers' rights. Mike and strippers. Even the strippers.
I'm picketing next weekend.
Hello, and welcome to, I think it's episode 13 of the Only Game in Town podcast. We have a lot to go over. We were talking about the strip club in the Miami Marlins Stadium, because I am in Fort Lauderdale. Mike's coming down here tomorrow. Jordan's skipping because he's not a good friend.
Wow.
Speaking of Miami, I'm sure both of you are very happy to see Los Heat lose the finals.
Best day of my life.
Best day of my life. Seeing LeBron cry on the bench is just like it's like the greatest feelings you could ever have in a human being.
There's so much more to hate on that team than looks like words.
Honestly, it's like LeBron crying, firstborn child, and then everything else is.
It's kind of like Hitler, LeBron, and then maybe Tom Brady.
It's like a mini holiday with Hitler.
Don't compare LeBron James to Hitler, Jim.
I'm sorry. That was totally out of line. So, I don't think you could have any more different. I mean, Stanley Cup and NBA Finals were both 5 games. I don't think you could have any more different of 5-game series than those two. And I think the NBA Finals was just terrible compared to the Stanley Cup.
I loved every second of the NBA Finals, and I watched maybe half of a game of the Stanley Cup.
I mean, in quality of games.
I mean, on one half of the court, the quality was solid on the NBA Finals.
Oh, it was fantastic.
It was poetry in motion. It was gorgeous.
Right, you two assholes know what I'm saying. Will we talk about that, please?
Well, here's my thing. The Spurs passing? Are you kidding me? It was like poetry in motion. It was like listening to a Shakespeare poem. You know, it's like
it was a sonnet. It was a goddamn sonnet.
They had. I was talking to Mike on FaceTime, and they had like probably 7 passes that ended up with Kawhi Leonard like dumping it, just like no one standing near Tim Duncan. They couldn't follow the ball. And he had the easiest dunk of all time.
It was like a hot potato pass to Tiago Splitter, and Jordan and I at the top of our lungs would scream Tiago when it happened. It was fantastic.
You know the moment I knew the Spurs were gonna win it? When Boris fucking Diaw threw an oop to Kawhi Leonard.
Boris is here.
Well, how about Kawhi Leonard's putback where no one boxed him out? He ran right down the center.
Jordan made a great point. I think we were actually FaceTiming at the time it happened. Jordan made a fantastic point. He was like, you watched it in slow motion, you can see Kawhi's eyes dart like to one side and then back to the rim, and they like open. It's like, so no one's gonna stop this.
It's the NBA Finals that are down 20. Kawhi Leonard has a putback that he ran down the middle. No one's boxing out. No one sees the guy that's dropped the last 18 points.
Yeah, I mean, the Spurs is busy folding up the tent pegs and looking the other way. Like they're gone.
I mean, the Spurs were clearly the better team in the series, but I couldn't believe how much Miami laid down.
The thing is, I don't know if it was as much laying down as much as it was sheer dominance. I mean, you look back, like, Dwayne Wade played, what, 60-ish games? So, like, he wasn't ready. He took so many off, he wasn't ready for the playoffs. He was never, whether his knees were right or not, he was never in shape. Bosh is always hit or miss, and I feel like any regular season or playoff game you take with him, it's either hit or miss. They got some admirable performances from Richard in the earlier playoff games. But the rest of the team is what the rest of the team is. I mean, when they meet superior opponents, it's not like Chalmers and Cole can really do anything productive when they're playing against a solid defense. Like, who else they have on the Birdman underneath with a putback? He's not doing that against the front line of the Spurs. Like, they just weren't built for playing a team that's that disciplined.
I mean, Birdman was there just to annoy Tim Duncan. That was his only role that entire series.
I don't think Tim Duncan even noticed he was there until the stat lines.
I still don't understand how you don't put Greg Oden in it at least for like a few minutes.
Jordan, let's talk about the two people who made it in the game instead of.
Oh my lord, my boy Tony Douglas coming in hot.
Best moment of the finals. Tony Douglas.
Wait, is the -- 1 pick in the draft like 5 years ago sitting on the end of the bench, and here comes in Tony Douglas?
Not only that, but Beasley made it in Game 5. I lost my mind.
By the way, he came in immediately and scored on a layup because the only thing he can do is score. Oh, there's a boobs.
Jim, this is a family show. Jim, a family show.
It was pornography for a major.
It was blurry for a second, and I didn't quite know, and then it was Beaver.
When it was behind you about 2 more feet, I thought there were vaginas. I couldn't really tell.
I think there were vaginas pictured.
There was a very spread proportion. I couldn't tell if it was open legs. Or...
No. Do not put that on the screen.
You ever see a vagina by itself?
Not for me.
Is that your
like Perfect 10? Perfect 10 you can kind of hide. Could be a bowling site.
Could be anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, that finals was wonderful. You know what? I don't think. Although a lot of props are going to the Spurs for being so good, I don't think there's enough.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I agree, but and I will also agree with that. Like, I didn't think it would be that dominant, but Mike, to go with your point from before, they did, like, Spoelstra did keep Dwayne Wade out the perfect amount of time before the playoffs started.
Yeah.
Some of those beginning series, he was unbelievable.
Oh, he did real well.
But when they were running away, well, not really running away, but when they were clearly going to beat the Pacers, they should have rested him a whole lot more than they did.
Oh yeah.
I agree with that, but on the other end, it's just, I mean, I think we've seen it just what he is at this point in time, which is, I mean, I don't like Dwayne Wade, but it's unfortunate that an athlete of that caliber is done at like 31, 32 years old, because he just
beat the shit out of himself for 10 straight years.
I know. He was a really great player, but I don't think he can anymore.
No.
And the other thing is, who is Chris Bosh even close? He couldn't even fucking guard Kawhi Leonard when they had switched him onto him. Chris Bosh was useless at playing defense.
And on offense, which I think, unfortunately, is a product of playing in Miami for 4 years, because he's gone from like being in Toronto and actually being able to work the paint to now he's worked himself into just sitting in the corner and waiting for a pass. Like, he's not really being proactive at all, which is a product of their offense, but still like he could. I think he still can be more than what he is right now. He can. I mean, but I think he's got unfortunately.
Tell me the last time that Chris Bosh has thrown down a dunk and not a mid-range jumper.
I know, right? Like, he'll have an open lane and pull up from instead.
It's unfortunate what a player of that caliber has become.
Yeah.
Sorry. By the way, the Knicks looking at Patty Mills, love it.
Oh God, you guys need it in the worst kind of way.
Here's the thing: he'll probably end up sucking on the Knicks, but he's got a little bit of steam going from this finals, you know.
I think so. I mean, personally, I'd love to see him with 4 or 5 more shots a game and see what happens, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Well, because I don't think he's a starting point guard, you know?
No, but, I mean, with what you guys have on the roster, I think he's going to be thrown into that. Like...
Well, Raymond Felton's going to be gone, and on an off year where you know you're not going to win until 2015 when that free agency class comes about.
Right, until you guys' books are actually a little bit cleaner than this year.
And also, God bless Tony Parker. That man is a fucking magician. Like people talk about point guards like right now, and you know the obvious ones with Chris Paul and Westbrook, etc. But that man, his floater is the most unstoppable thing.
I was about to make that point when you were done. One of my very favorite plays, I forget which game it was, but he was one-on-one. It was probably against Chalmers, but that's beside the point. Like, took him off the dribble, got the separation he wanted, like spun and did, like the classic Parker, like 4-foot floater, and like they showed the replay like 4 or 5 times. It's beautiful.
But the other thing, Mike, that you make a good point. When he gets by you, though, he doesn't do that. What a lot of point guards and shooting guards do is when they make that first move, someone could easily switch over and stop your path. He
Nothing
does that.
goes.
He does that get past you, and then he does that little stutter move
Yeah.
that draws everyone away from him, and then he does that little drop. You know?
Yeah. Exactly. And it's crazy because it's not. You don't really see it until like they actually slow it down a little bit, and then you see the little nuances of like he makes like a half pass, and then he turns a little. It's crazy.
Very nice.
I mean, obviously, in the grand scheme of things, when we grow up, I don't know how much we'll be talking about, Manu Ginobili and Tony as much as we'll be talking about Tim Duncan. But those three together, that's chemistry to a whole new.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I mean, those two have 4 though.
What?
Yeah, I mean, you got to talk about them. You got to talk about them a little bit. They have 4.
That's what I mean. Yeah, but
So I think honestly, I mean, it might go without saying, but I think it's an all-time 3.
oh yeah,
An all-time
It's-
3.
it's-
And it's not going to get the respect of like a Mikhail Parrish-Bird or Pippen
Oh,
Jordan or
but-
something. It's not even.
but I think
I mean,
it's
it
up,
won't.
oh, sorry guys.
No, go ahead, Jim.
I think it's up there with a Magic Johnson, Michael Cooper, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar though.
Oh yeah, but it's just not going to get the play, is it? By the way, I'd like to make the point that we're being so much more courteous than we normally are of not yelling over each other that it's a little weird to this point. So we got to get back.
Last week
We got to get
when
back.
that happened, that was my favorite part of any podcast we have ever had.
When I yell at Jordan.
I rewatched that and just lost my mind laughing.
I still haven't watched that. I don't know what came over me. I'm sorry. I'm normally a little more subdued.
No, you're a big you're a big cunt. So no big.
Wow.
I said it.
I can see that.
The hands are back. The moose is up. He's good.
But I wonder what happens with that Spurs team. I feel like and that Heat team. How does Dwayne Wade not retire? Get him out of there. He's a cancer for that team right now.
He's not retiring because he's got $40 million guaranteed to him.
He's
Going anywhere.
But if it's $40 million guaranteed, then leave.
Who's gonna pay for that?
I mean, what do you have? I mean, there's a really good chance that LeBron's gonna stay, and
I think they're all going to stay. I think the one that's most likely to go is Bosch, but I really don't see that happening.
if Bosch is really fucking dumb if he doesn't leave. Get
Yeah,
get that max money from a team that needs you, and then finish that career out.
Yeah, that's one thing. Like go to Dallas, get more than 12 touches a game, and be an actual player again. Like start scoring in the 20s again. It'd be nice. I mean, I have no quarrels with Chris Bosch. I'd like to see him do well again.
I think Bosch should be on the Bobcat or the Hornets now.
Him and Al Jefferson, that'd be outrageous.
That'd be so much fun to watch.
It would be, especially with the since the Hornets stole the Pistons draft pick,
Oh yeah.
which was very fun.
Well, they might not need him. If they have the 9 pick, they might be able to get Julius Randle.
I would love that.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I mean, he's the reincarnation of Randolph.
You know who I'm excited for the Knicks to get in this draft?
Oh.
Fucking no one.
Do they have a 2nd round pick?
Yeah, but what does that mean?
Nothing.
How many big 2nd round picks can you think of besides Paul Millsap? Exactly.
You guys don't have any picks.
We have no picks?
You have no pick. I'm looking at the draft order now. You have no.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I could have sworn that we a 2nd rounder, but that sounds about right.
That's fine.
No, you guys have nothing.
So, where does Timmy stack all time now?
Oh, you got to put him up there.
Top 10?
Mm.
I think so.
It's
I
tough.
mean, it would be hard to not press that he's the best power forward of all time.
How does that not automatically make him top 10?
Well, because would you put Karl? Because I compare him, even though Karl Malone won nothing, but I mean Karl Malone's stats are ridiculous compared to Tim's. Like in season is what I'm saying.
Oh
But-
yeah, I
But
would rather.
about the
someone who knows how to win championships, like Tim Duncan, than I would.
But when you
probably.
think about the fact, I thought the craziest stat was Tim Duncan has 152 double-doubles in the playoffs.
He beat Magic Johnson, didn't he?
152 double-doubles in the playoffs. That is ridiculous.
It's not. How long is he playing? Like 18 years or so?
He's and here's the best part. He's only like fuck. What was that stat that they had about him? He's only shit. Rookie year was the only year that he didn't average a double-double or something like that.
Yeah, outrageous.
It's crazy.
It's not, and that's when David Robinson was playing, so he didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean,
Imagine running into those two twin towers.
God.
who would you put top 10 above Tim?
You're gonna go top 10 NBA players on me right now.
That would be that you would take over Tim Duncan on your team.
Jesus.
Are we trying to make a team, or are we trying to just go
No. I just want 10
This is
players.
difficult right now.
off the
Jordan,
cuff?
Okay, Jordan. Yeah, I'd take Magic.
Magic, Kareem,
Kareem,
Larry.
of course. I mean,
I wouldn't take Wilt Chamberlain over him.
yeah.
Wilt was an asshole.
I mean, that
Wilt
doesn't
was an
even.
asshole. Won 2 championships.
Jeez. This is an odd question. We can come back to this one. I'm
I feel
struggling.
like this is due a little bit more research.
Okay.
Maybe next week. I don't know. I can't.
I'm saying you can put him top 10.
I mean, you might. I mean, it's because you know what? I'd agree with you just justifiably on the fact that who has 5 championships. You know, who has 5 championships that he was a huge part of. I mean, I wouldn't say he was the epicenter of this one per se, but surely he was the glue that held everything together.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, like he wasn't like the biggest player, but he still was like 15 and 10 every game. Like that's
You don't win that championship without Tim Duncan. You know,
he was a soldier. He was a fucking soldier.
3 of the 5, he was the best player on the team, and the other 2, he was the second best on the team.
yeah, that's
So-
true.
Also, I think it's worth mentioning the difference between Manu Ginobili last year and this year.
Drastic.
Different
Last year he was a corpse, and they still hung in for 7. This year he showed up and got, what was it, 15 points a game, shooting maybe 40 to 45%, and all of a sudden they went in 5 and slaughtered them in 4 of them.
They also had some great pickups this year. Like Bellinelli was great.
Oh,
Huge.
yeah.
Huge.
Boris?
Yeah, I mean.
You could have made a case for Boris to be the number 2 after Kawhi for MVP. I mean, he
I don't
played
know
that well.
Like Game 4 especially. Learned that I tripped up.
I mean, I know he's generally a joke, but, I mean, that dude was balling for that series.
I love Boris Diaw. I don't care. I fucking love the guy. Even when he was fat, he's fucking Boris Diaw.
I just wish T-Mac worked out on that team.
Oh,
Right?
God.
How disappointing is that?
It is.
Ugh. But back to the hockey thing. The hockey playoffs were fucking exciting as hell. Too bad the
Let's
Rangers.
get to that in a second. Let's go over the draft since
All right.
it's going to happen. We probably have another week before it, but
26th.
26, yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. Let's just talk a little bit about it. What we think is going to happen. I mean, we know the top 3 obviously, but
I mean,
Do we think Wiggins is going to the Bucks, or do you think he's dropping to the Sixers?
he's gonna go Sixers. They're gonna. Yeah, I think the Bucks are gonna take Parker.
So it's funny that like even if he drops to the Sixers, like how can you be mad? Like you'd be upset that you have Wiggins, but you're a guy who's 6'7" and can score on anybody.
I mean, you know my feeling on Wiggins. My boner for Wiggins is it's
I can see it from here.
It's erect as I talk about it because I think he's going to end up being fucking incredible.
Jordan is top.
But the way the draft people are talking about Embiid as the next Hakeem Olajuwon, that's a crazy way to put someone.
Oh, Embiid.
Yeah, to have that title next to Olajuwon, you know,
It's just so difficult drafting big men.
he can hit a hook shot with both arms. That's
I mean,
that
I'm
is
not doubting his talent. I'm just
crazy.
saying it's a very hit or miss thing to draft big men.
Hey, you put a little meat on him with his wingspan and the unbelievable defense he plays, and he's unbelievable in the post. He could be a game-changing player.
I mean, I remember another certain big man who went pretty early from UConn who now plays 0 minutes on the Oklahoma City.
If you're
Thunder.
going to try to compare Embiid to Hashim Thabit, you're barking up the wrong tree. Hashim Thabit needed 4 years of college, and then another 4 years in the developmental league, and then another 4 years in college, and then another 4 years in the developmental league. And by the time he's 37, we'll allow him on the court for 5 minutes a game. When he runs out there to high-five Kevin Durant like a fucking child playing in a sandbox who just saw someone throw the ball cooler than someone else, well, way to go, Kevin.
I met someone at Keystone who was on vacation and he lived in Oklahoma City. He said his son hangs out with Hashim Thabit because they live in the same neighborhood. His son just goes over and plays video games with Hashim Thabit all the time.
What a horrible influence.
Yeah, right.
I didn't tell the dad obviously how much weed that guy smokes. The dad seemed pretty naive on it, but.
But from there, I like Exum going to Orlando.
That'd be fun watching him and Oladipo.
Well, you finally move Oladipo away from point guard.
Which is not where he should be.
No. Yeah, I mean they made him a point. I mean Jameer Nelson get amnesty. I feel like that amnesty is just sitting in the owner of the Orlando's back pocket to get him off that team.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And amnesties. Do the Bulls finally pull the trigger on Boozer?
Oh, oh God, yes. That's been like 2 years, maybe 3 years coming. I think after we lost to the Heat in 5, Jerry Reinsdorf was like, we gotta get rid of this guy.
You can't say though that he wasn't a terrific player on the Jazz because he was.
So was Duran. They both left and they were crap.
He was just such a severe disappointment. I mean, I remember when that free agency came. When was that? 2011, 2012? Was that around then?
Yeah.
So I remember we had Stoudemire and Bosch were open, and we need a post scorer. If we don't get stats, we're getting Bosch. And then it was just like it was a blow to the chest. It was awful.
Now, would you say this is as big of a disappointment as the Ben Gordon? Not Ben Gordon. I'm sorry, Ben Wallace to the Bulls.
I mean, at that point in time, I mean, making a move for Ben Wallace, at least they were trying, because the Bulls were terrible when they got Ben Wallace. They weren't that great. We had young Kirk, we had young Lou, we had young Ben, and we weren't much. So getting anybody with a name showed that the front office cared. So it was like, all right, you know what, I'm safe with that. And he gave us maybe 2 good years before he turned into a total dipshit. But still,
but Ben Wallace was like, you gotta take him for what he was. I mean, the only thing the man did was great defensive player.
Yep.
And great rebounder. That man could not do a thing with the basketball.
Right, and that's not what we were looking for.
That team didn't need that at all.
You know, I'm look up the stats, but I feel like our defense was fucking terrible at that point in time. So we need somebody who would enforce down low and miss free throws.
But Boozer when he came in though, that man used to be able to knock down that mid-range jump shot from the baseline.
Well, he still could. The thing that upset me is we didn't need that. We had Tyrese Thomas before him, and we had Taj Gibson to do that. We needed somebody to hit the glass and work the post. And
Tyrese Thomas really worked.
6'9" doughy Carlos Boozer who gets injured by a gym bag. That is what we picked up. I forgot about that. that was us settling was for this dipshit who takes mid-range jumpers when it's not what we need, and he stayed with us for 3 to 4 years, and it's not.
Who's got the 5th pick? Is that? No, that's Jazz. Right?
The Sixers?
Jazz, Celtics.
Jazz, excuse me.
It's Jazz 5. They're probably gonna take fucking Aaron Gordon. Good riddance. Send him to fucking Utah.
Get him out of here. I don't want to hear about him no more.
I want that to be the end of Aaron Gordon's career. I don't really have anything really against the guy, just that I just don't think he's that good.
I have enough against him based on media hype and poor performance ratio. I'm done with it. Like, oh my God, it's Aaron Gordon. He's going to be so good. And then, he averages 11 points. And, how?
But I think right there you could go either with him or that Noah Vonleh from Indiana, who they're really high on.
Which is another guy that I saw nothing with in college and didn't hear anything about him until the draft started. I was like, oh, this guy's great. He's got a great body. I feel like he's going to turn into another player that's just totally...
Alrighty.
He's also a freshman, so how much could he have really learned?
So moving on from there, we'll talk about the.
Hi,
Who's that?
it's Mario.
Hi. Oh, what up, Mario?
How's it going?
Good. How you doing, dude?
I'm good. So you guys do this all the time?
Little podcast. Gotta watch it.
Where can I find it?
Facebook.
Facebook?
What's our website called?
You gotta like it first, Jordan.
What's it called?
Yeah, I'll send you the Facebook page. Like that.
Thank you.
That's nice.
All right, go ahead.
Alright, so that's a good segment to move off basketball and go to the clearly more.
I just want to touch on one thing. I just want to know where Nick Stauskas is going to go, because I think he's going to be a baller.
Do you though?
I do.
I really think another JJ Redick.
I think he's going to be good. Well, JJ Redick can't dribble the basketball. Stauskas actually has some chops.
Where did Redick go? Redick went way too early, right?
The Magic picked him up just far too early for a player of that caliber.
If I remember correctly, it was far too early.
Yeah, for a 3-point shooter.
If I remember, him and Fredette went. I remember both those picks happening, and being like, God, they are just not going to work out.
No,
I mean, I can't be the only one that did this. Did you guys always think that Fredette got drafted by the Jazz? Because I always do.
Jim, did you mix him up with Gordon Hayward?
No. I think I just associate him being a Mormon with him going to the Jazz.
Oh, all right.
Well, the Jazz honestly, Jim, you're not too off because the Jazz wanted him. You don't remember that? The Jazz wanted him so bad.
Oh yeah, that's right. Why did I'm trying to remember? I look back on it now and I remember how much I fucking despised JJ Redick. And I look at him now in the Clippers. I'm like, I mean, I know he went to Duke, but
well, that's it, Jim. That's the bottom.
That's the thing.
That's the whole thing. You hate him because he came from Duke, just like every red-blooded American that doesn't live in Durham, North Carolina.
The only Duke player that I have.
I mean, I don't hate Kyrie Irving.
I mean, he's kind of a cock. He's kind of an asshole.
Grant Hill does nothing for me.
If Uncle Drew wasn't great, he's kind of an ass, and I do like Grant Hill, but I will always love Christian Laettner. Christian Laettner and Sheldon Williams.
Sheldon. Oh my God, Sheldon.
Sheldon Williams was the definition of still a Homo sapien. Didn't quite make the genealogical shift to human.
He was stuck in Homo erectus. He just got his straight back and started playing basketball.
He looked like Homer Simpson with that forehead. And it made me laugh so much when he married Candace Parker, and all I think is that just all of that 6-foot body is just.
Moving on to hockey. Before we say anything that's even more blatantly racist.
What was racist?
Yeah, come on.
My favorite part so far is that not only was Jordan the first one to drop the nigger, but he was the first one to bring up Christian Laettner and Sheldon Williams.
The man pushes the boundaries every week. You gotta give him credit.
Jordan's got a lot of red on his ledger.
I love that you didn't say the N-word. You still said the...
Not only did I say nigger, I said the nigger.
Jesus, dude.
All right, moving on.
So hockey. Speaking of white people, let's go to hockey.
You gotta find an edit button for this. We're gonna be able to post this one now. Just drop
I gotta
5 N-bombs.
Thanks, Mike. You just ruined our day tomorrow. I have to figure out how to edit a podcast.
Oh, man.
You're not going golfing if I can't. If I have to spend all day inside trying to figure out how to edit a podcast.
I'll drop the assist on that one.
Oh man, I'm gonna cry.
Okay. So the God damn it. Son of a bitch.
Turning red.
So the Stanley Cup clearly didn't pan out the way we were hoping, Jordan.
Sorry. Alright, I'm back.
Take it, man.
Okay, well, yeah, it definitely didn't turn. Sorry, I got the giggles. Hold on.
Okay, so
Stanley Cup, anyways.
I mean, I know they lost in 5, but that wasn't a loss in 5 games.
What was it? Was it like 3 overtime games or something? 2 of them doubled.
No, they did the math. They played 6.5 games.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And everyone was more depressing than the next.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, and like I've said on the last couple of podcasts, I am a completely fair weather fan when it comes to these Rangers, but can't help it, like, I mean, that many double overtime losses? That's ridiculous.
It really upsets me when a team that has no market for where their sport is succeeds, like LA having a hockey team.
Yeah.
It'd be like the Florida Panthers being the best hockey team in the NHL.
Or like the
Their
Miami.
stadium was great.
It was nice. Mike, go ahead.
No, I was saying it's like the Miami Heat winning a championship. No market for their team.
No. Let's not confuse bad fan base for no market.
Oh, you go hand in hand.
I mean,
That's
not,
like Toronto winning the NBA Finals.
not to talk about that fan base, but Jesus Christ, come on with all the button-up white T-shirts and dark blue jeans. Are you kidding?
It's a bit much.
I was saying to Mike when we were FaceTiming, Jim, have you ever been like, I'm going to a professional sporting event, let me throw on my best button-up,
No,
my best pair of blue jeans.
my white button down.
I'm ready to slug beers with my boys. Imagine going to a Giants game, your ass will be torn to pieces.
Jordan, let's go to a Rockies game like that and see what happens when you come out.
Jim, you gotta ask him for a Bud Light.
Oh God, you get looked at like you kicked a baby if you ask for a Bud Light. And
Really? That's not surprising.
It's pretty funny, and I hate Coors Light. Oh my God, I hate Coors Light.
It's just water, you know.
No, it's nasty. Well, it's all that mountain water.
Not bad.
But no, I mean that was clearly the more entertaining of the two series. Obviously not the result we were looking for.
I got super fucking into it.
Oh, absolutely.
It was a ton of fun.
I feel like 1 or 2 more Stanley Cups of realizing how much fun I have watching hockey before I actually start really getting into the sport.
Yeah, I mean I agree. It was really exciting, but I will agree with Mike. I did enjoy as much as I was extremely upset. They were two different ranges of emotion. He was extremely upset during the Rangers game, and then just pure happiness watching LeBron just have no clue who to pass the ball to besides take it himself. How great of a feeling is that? Like watching a player you have what 10 other teammates and you have not one clue who you can trust.
Well, I mean, one of the best parts for me was like Game 5 where he came out on fire. What was it? 17 points in the first quarter. It's like, oh man, here comes LeBron, and then like all 110 or whatever however many games he played, started wearing on him, and he just faded. And it was just like nobody. There's nobody who's gonna step up. So that's it. This is what's gonna happen.
No.
Like he threw everything like this quarter. He was a beast. He was a fucking machine. Like you can't take anything away from that. And it's just
And that was the thing was like in last year they still had Mike Miller, still had good games. You know, Shane Battier had good games. Ray Allen had good games. What did they have this year from the bench? Rashard Lewis for a game?
Shane Battier played just as many minutes as fucking Michael Beasley.
I agree with you, Jim. Like at least in past years they had someone that could save them when like LeBron needed a blow or when Dwayne Wade had cartilage and in his knees needed a blow.
Give it up to Rashard Lewis a little for at least stepping up a little bit, you know.
Oh, he did his best, man. At whatever, he's like 34 now. I like her. There's nothing wrong with Rashard Lewis. He's a good player.
Ray did have a good game, the one they won. Ray had a decent game, the one they won.
Ray was also useless in that series, though.
Yeah. Well, he's 38.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying, but they expected so many. Like, and I know we're droning on about the Heat, and I got to give Jack his room back soon. But they looked on these role players to step up to be stars, and the stars just weren't there. Like Dwayne Wade looks so bad, like a shell of himself. And this isn't the same as Manu Ginobili last season, just falling apart in the finals. Dwayne Wade is an upper echelon, top 5 shooting guard of all time. The man is like in his prime, he was fucking unbelievable.
Oh, the first championship he won, he was one of the greatest shooting guards of all time that season.
Yeah, I mean he had one of the better like 8 to 10 year career runs that I think we've seen as far as that position. Like, and then just he was
averaged in that finals when they won with Shaq. I think he averaged like 35 points a game. It was unbelievable.
Oh yeah, it was unreal. I mean, since I started hating him a couple years ago, I mean, for me it warmed the cockles of my heart seeing him miss bunnies like that in whatever game it was.
Oh.
It was the best thing I've ever seen.
That block from Tigo Splitter on him.
Oh my god.
That thing was ridiculous.
All right, we've talked enough about basketball. Do you want to go to some Thrones since you two saw the last?
Yes.
Okay.
I think there needs to be a way for me to shy away from my insensitive comments. So speaking about Thrones. So now that Jordan's indisposed, like that whole scene at the end where like he gets freed by Jaime, or Tyrion gets freed by Jaime. Like the whole time I was just sitting like my whole body was tense. Like I was like, he's gonna die. Who's gonna jump out behind him to kill him? Who's gonna kill him? Who's gonna kill him? Who's gonna kill him? And, like I didn't expect him to escape. Like so everything that came out of it was just ridiculous. Like I expected when he was choking Shay, I was like, well Tyrion's gonna walk in and just like Tywin's gonna walk in and like do something, or somebody's gonna walk in and see it and then alert the guards. Like, and then like when he went to go see Tywin taking a dump, it was like, all right, he's got the crossbow, just get on with it, shoot him, get the fuck out of there. Like, get the fuck out of there the whole time. Because at least, I mean, from my experience, like watching another show like The Wire, when things are set up like that, it's like you idle for too long and someone's gonna get you. And he was just standing there for like 5 straight minutes. It's like, dude, just kill him and get the fuck out. Like, I need you to live. I want to like this. That was my thought process at the end. The whole rest of it was really fucking cool too. But that was the thing that stuck out to me, was just like totally like on the edge of my seat, body like rigor mortis, just watching.
Well,
crazy.
Can I tell you what it kind of reminded me of in a weird way? It's not like a direct connection, but I was feeling the same way. I was like, he's going to die right here, and it's going to kill it for me. And it kind of reminded me of Omar walks in to buy when he died, and he goes and buy a pack of Newports, and he gives that kid the little look to the side, like, because you know the kid's there.
Yeah, because he's
The kid's standing right next to him. He does that little like look to the side, goes back to like does a little snicker, and then like goes and you know. That's what I expected was going to happen mid rant. He was going to just get fucking axed.
Yeah, that was my point with it before. Like, especially that scene, especially from The Wire, just like watching it, is just like, and the episode before, watching Egret die by that fucking little kid, which by the way killed me. I was so upset that she died. But
Oh yeah.
but just like that little kid, I thought it was just gonna be some arbitrary character, like some like torch holder that we saw in like episode 4 was just gonna show up and kill him. Like who knew what was gonna happen? But like just watching a show like The Wire before, it's like Tyrion, just do your business and get out because you're gonna die.
You're going to die.
Well,
And I loved what's his face. The name I can't think of right now, but the person that packed him into the box.
Oh, Varys.
Darius. I loved his face when he looked back and was like, "What did you do? Like, can't return back to King's Landing now."
My thought on that is like he heard the bells, he looked up, and then he looked down again. He was like, "Nope," and just got right on the boat.
It kind of reminded me of like a college party, like if me and Jim would say like an offensive comment to someone, and like you hear something inside, like people getting all, and it's like, time to go.
well, I guess we're leaving now.
I guess I'm leaving now. I guess someone said something.
Well, it's almost like liking it to like trying to talk to like a girl at the bar and you say the wrong thing and she says nothing. It's like, all right then. And you just turn around and
Well, this has been a blast.
you just don't say anything. You just grab your drink, maybe give her a nod and just kind of get the fuck out of there. It's like, well, that one's in the gutter right now. Might as well try my luck somewhere else.
So why don't we do rough go, fellas?
Well, so you guys enjoyed that season?
Oh, I love that season.
Yeah, that season was incredible.
Probably my favorite to date. If we're gonna get down to brass
With Jim,
I'm glad you enjoyed it because the next book is boring as fuck.
well, I feel like they're going to combine because you said that 4 and 5 the books happen at the same time, right? It's a linear.
Yeah, it's just different storylines.
I feel like they got to combine that. I had another question though. Was that the legitimate end of season 3? Was Arya sailing away to Bravos?
Yeah, there's one other scene, but I don't think they're gonna put it in the show.
It just wasn't necessary.
No, it's just really outlandish, and I think they kind of like read it and were like, "We're not doing this."
Oh, I have such a crush on Cersei.
I mean, if you want to see her naked, just watch 300.
There you
I have, and I think she looks like a sluttier version of Keira Knightley.
I mean, if you want to see McNulty rape Cersei, just watch 300.
go.
You know, he was supposed to be the leader of the whatchamacallits, shit, what's his fucking name? John of the Wildlings. You know that?
He was supposed to be Mance.
Yeah, and he turned down the role.
Oh wow.
Imagine McNulty. What the fuck did I do?
I'm actually kind of glad he did because I don't think I'd be able to see it in the same light.
I don't think I'd be able to see it the same way. Takes out a thing of the fucking Jameson wall of Jon Snow's talking to him.
Yeah, I was about to say, offers Jon Snow some dinner, turns around, and takes a little sniff. Yeah, no, that was cool. I thought the fight between Brienne and the Hound, I was actually losing my mind over because I was like, somebody's gonna die, and I don't know who it's gonna be. I was freaking out the whole time.
I like Brienne of Tarth though.
I like her too, but I grew to like the Hound when he was rolling around with Arya.
By the way, Podrick could be my favorite person on the show.
That's a klutz.
Podrick Payne.
Podrick Payne he's great. The actor that plays him is fucking terrific. You didn't follow the girl? No, I was following you. I don't need your help.
Oh,
and then the scene where fucking Brienne punches him in the balls, and he turns around and cunt punches her right afterwards.
All right, yeah, let's do this.
The whole time I was just losing my mind because I was like, I know somebody's gonna die, and like I didn't want really either of them to die because I like both of those characters. It's like, fuck, who's gonna die here?
Alrighty, Jordan, you want to do rough go?
Yes.
We'll do World Cup next week because we didn't get to it, and I think Jordan's getting kicked out. So
What?
Jordan has limited time and space he's in. So
I do. My rough go. Well, I wouldn't if I wasn't down with the fucking Indian Tea Party that was going on down. We don't say Indian Tea Party, Mike.
Sorry guys, I misspoke again.
I'm not gonna post this one.
My rough go is Mario Chalmers. After a starting point guard who's probably the most used starting point guard, put up just the worst stats in an NBA Finals. Just at one point he was like, 7 from the field, 0 of 3, like, and Tony Parker.
Oh, he froze.
Essentially had his way with him, like a deep jail raping.
We're not gonna compare Tony Parker playing Mario Chalmers to a deep jail raping.
That's what I'm saying. That's my rough go.
Mike.
Well, just to go with Jordan's, I'd love to see Mario Chalmers PER because it's probably the worst thing that anybody's ever seen.
Oh, right?
Absolute train wreck.
Oh, it's got to be incredible.
My original one was Dwayne Wade because of his performance in the final, just being a total ghost of himself. But my new one is me for being pretty excessive tonight. So I'm gonna go with me for being a little excessive and not allowing this to air, unless it airs, in which case I'm just gonna look like a clown. So
no, yeah. I'm gonna air it. I just have to figure out how to edit it, and I'm just gonna cut out about 3 minutes of this and just watch Jordan giggling for no reason.
That's fine. Well, mine will remain me for reasons that nobody watching this after it gets edited.
It's gonna be real rough. Just mid-sentence to Jordan giggling.
Jim, maybe when I get down there, I can dub it over with what I should have said.
We'll figure it out.
We can do some post editing. It'll be nice.
Yeah. Mine is the Russian goalie in the World Cup who just muffed a save.
Banana
That
hand.
was a muff and a half too.
Banana hand.
I'm pretty sure his family's dead.
Oh, stop it!
You don't think Putin did that?
A lot of Molotov cocktails have been thrown through their windows. I don't know if they died or not, though.
I'm sure Putin had them they're in Siberia right now. Alrighty, boys. Mike, I'll see you tomorrow.
Yes,
Jordan?
you will. Bright and early, 10:30. We'll be there.
At some point, figure out where you're coming to. Oh, Jordan, Nicky Balls is coming to Denver.
Is he?
Yeah, I think in July at some point. He texted me. I gotta figure out when. If you want to go then.
I got to. I think that's gonna be my summer trip, Jim. So you got to tell me a good weekend, and I'll book it.
Sounds good.
All right.
Alrighty, later, boys.
All right, peace, boys.
Goodbye.
Let me know when we're off video.
Wow.